First thing we're going to look at, this is this green area here is the mapping boundary. I'm going to change that color. Let's change that to red, a little easier to see. All right. In the previous video, we talked about our takeoff area being right here. So this is where we're planning on launching from, if we can get access right here to get down there. There is construction going on this road, so I'm hoping that's open so we can get in there. That's the plan. This is also 99 acres, and so it's going to take a battery swap. So looking at this site arrangement, I'm going to divide this into two separate missions that will accommodate the battery swap. So first thing you want to do, this will be north, and then this will be south. So we're going to fly in a northeast direction. That's the longer direction and will assist with the turns. Now the north side, we're going to fly in the other direction to minimize crossing that road. So the first thing we need to do is, let me bring this over. First thing we need to do is look at our parameters. So our neat area here is 95 feet. So that's going to be the distance between our flight lines, 95 feet at 24.6 miles an hour. So let's move that back out of the way. All right, so mission to the north. So I want to put a distance here of 95 feet. I'm going to start right there, and I'm going to come 95 feet. That's close enough. Let's save that. All right, so that gives us a starting distance. I'm now going to bring in our grid, and this is going to be temporary. I've got it on my desktop here, Google Earth. So there's my grid. I designed this grid with flight lines that I can scale to fit that 95 feet. So first thing I'm going to do is rotate this thing to how my flight path is going to go. And now I'm going to size it down until the flight lines kind of line up with that width right there. Right, that's close enough. Okay, so now we can see kind of how our flight line is going to go. I'm going to use that road as our separation between the two missions. So I'm going to also, to minimize flight time, I'm going to take and see where do I want to start my flight from. I want to fly to the farthest distance here, so I'm going to come up here and then go down my flight lines. All right, let's say that's just temporary. Let's go back up here. Let's. All right, so now we're going to take, this is going to be Cave Creek, flight line north. I like doing these in blue. So I'm going to start right here. So you want to start outside your mapping area. And I'll bounce over here and then come back. Go to the next flight line, come back. We continue this operation till we get all our flight lines that we're going to do for this north mission. I'm going to come down to here and then to here. Remember, we're going to use that road as our dividing line. So our two separate missions will overlap each other along that road. All right, let's go one more. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now the south mission is going to fly in a north, southwest, northeast direction. So let's take this same image that we have here. Since we've already sized it for the 95 feet, all we got to do here is rotate it. And move it down here, and I'm just lining it up with that flight line right there, or that mapping limit line. And my last flight line is along that one, so that's pretty close. So let's say okay. All right, so now go back here. Whoops. This will be Cave Creek. Flight line south. So we're launching from right here. So we're going to come up here. We're going to have a little bit of overlap. They don't have to be exactly on these points. I mean, there's a little bit of flexibility there. You could zoom in and tighten it up, make it a little bit closer, but it's not really necessary as long as it's close. If it's a couple of feet off, it's not gonna affect that side overlap much. Okay, last flight line. Okay, so now let's turn that off. Turn that off. So now you can see our two missions. And between the missions, when the one mission's done, then it'll come and land, and then we'll do a battery swap. We're going to be right here close by. I'm going to take off. So two missions. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and save these as a KML. And that's important. It needs to be saved as a KML. Okay, saved both of those as a KML. So now let's do kind of a little look at this thing just to kind of see if terrain follow is going to be needed. So I'm going to watch that elevation right here. You can see down there in that taskbar. So our launch area elevation is 1736. If I come down to this far end, we're 1708, so that's dropping about 30 feet. Not quite. So that's somewhat flat. So now let's go to the north side. 1751, so that's rising about 14 feet. So my generally, if it's like within 30 feet, then terrain follow is not really needed. I've not noticed any uh, accuracy difference in that amount of drop between one side to the other. When it starts getting close to 30, over 30 to 50 is kind of marginal, but especially at 50 now, I need to do terrain follow. Terrain follow takes a little bit more work, so in this scenario, we're going to do 200 EGL, which we just looked at right here, at a capture rate of 2 seconds. So our speed is going to be 24.6. Okay, so let's save this. All right, so now that we saved those two missions, we're going to go to the flylichy.com portal, and we're going to import those in here to take a look at them. So Cave Creek North, import. All right, so I want to check this setting here, 24.6, that's how fast we're going to be flying. Okay, online elevation. All right, so we're going to take and select two of these, then select all, then do these at 200. I'm going to go ahead and click the above ground just so that I can visually look at the difference to confirm that flight following is not really going to be needed. I'm going to hit apply to all. So you can see there, that's 199, so 200 set right there. I didn't set our launch location, but I can see here that we're only looking at 22 feet, so that can be flat. And our flight time is going to be 19 minutes. So I generally figure 20 minutes, 25 minutes for a battery for the Matrice 4 Enterprise. I can get 25 minutes out of it if the wind and everything's working in our favor, and if we can launch or take off near and land near our launch. In this case, we're going to fly all the way over here, blah, blah, blah. So we'll add another couple of minutes. So we're going to be about 21 minutes. So that's a good mission for one battery right there. So no terrain follow needed and one battery. So now let's go bring in the second one, south one. Okay, same scenario. Let's do this again. All right, so we're 212, 200, 212. We've got 181, so we're about 20 feet. So we don't need terrain follow on the south side. We'll just do it at 200 from our launch location. And we're looking at about 22 minutes. We're starting here right near our launch, And we're ending right over here, not too far from our launch. So 22 minutes, that will work for one battery at our 24.6. Okay, so that's confirmed. Nothing needs changed there. So let's close that. Alright, so we saved them to the temp folder. So now we're going to get the SD card from the controller. Get my little tool here to get the card out. Okay, putting the SD card into my Mac here. Should show up right there. Open that in a new window. KML. I'm going to take the north one and the south one and copy them over here. Eject that. Now we can put the SD card back into the controller. Start the DJI Pilot app on the controller. Click on Flight Route. Tap on the plus button. Tap on Import. Go to the card, SD card. Click on North Flight. That's our first one we did. Waypoint. We'll take the default relative to take off point. Tap on it to open it. And we just updated the firmware, so we need to close that. Now we need to edit. Click on the pencil, add point on map, change the platform to a Matrice 4 Enterprise. Scroll down to the speed, change that to 24.6 per our flight parameters. Change the relative altitude to 200 AGL. Scroll down. Waypoint type will be coordinated turn. That saves on battery power. Click on waypoint. And we're on the start waypoint. So we need to scroll down to add an action. Scroll down to timed interval shot. Change that to 2 seconds. Again, that's per our speed that we're flying. Go to the end waypoint. And add an action. Click exit. That will stop it capturing images. Hit save. And then I like to open it back up again just to confirm the settings. Sometimes I click in the wrong place or don't click at all to save certain points, and then I have to fix it in the field. Here, everything's looking good. The waypoint, confirm the action at the start, timed interval 2 seconds, endpoint is exit, and then save. Now we'll import the south flight. Hit the plus button, import, navigate to the KM folder, south, confirm, waypoint route, default, open it up, Go into edit mode, add point on map, change the platform to the Matrice 4 Enterprise. Change the speed to 24.6. AGL is 200. Waypoint type, coordinated turn. Click on waypoint. Change the action to timed interval shot, 2 seconds. Go to endpoint, add action, exit, save. Open it back up and confirm. Route 24.6, 200, coordinated turn, waypoint, timed interval 2 seconds, and exit. Save. So now all we need to do now is just get everything charged up and head out to the field to get it flown. And that will be in part 3 of this series.